Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we have the Horipad Pro for Xbox Series X and S. And at first I was a little confused about what it's really for, but then once I figured it out, I like the controller a lot. Tune in. The Horipad Pro came out November 17th, 2020, and it retails for about $50, but I did get it on sale for about $44 instead. The packaging is cool, but nothing to really write home about, and they don't really come with a full instruction manual. What it came with instead was a QR code that led me to a website where I could actually find the whole instruction manual. So you're going to need an internet connection every time you want to consult the manual for this controller, which is pretty annoying but eco-friendly, so maybe it balances out, I don't know. But other than that, it was minimalistic packaging, the box was nice, you get the controller, and then we move forward. One immediate thing that I had a problem with was that the wire is not detachable from the controller. As you can see, this controller is stuck to the wire. There's no getting it off of it. So I am a huge fan of being able to detach my wires. If I want to leave it in, I'll leave it in. But if I don't, you know what I'm saying? But you don't get that option here, so I did think that was a big loss here. The cord itself is about 10 feet long, so that's not bad at all, but that doesn't really beat the ability to detach the wire and maybe be able to use a new wire that maybe could be even longer. And that's another thing. Now if this wire breaks, I would have to get a whole new controller instead of just getting a new wire. Now the controller cable does have a detachable part at the end, but again, what's really the point? I'm not even gonna get even more into this. I'm done. Moving forward, there is also a software that comes with the controller called Hori Device Manager. You can get it on the Microsoft Store, Xbox Store, whatever, easy to get. And it's just like your typical software. It helps you adjust dead zones, trigger sensitivities, vibrations, volume control, and lets you design your profiles. Pretty standard software. I have no problems with it. It can be used by those who really want to use it, but it's also not the most in-depth software I've ever seen. Definitely doesn't beat like the Elite Series software or even like the Victrix Gambit software and things along that nature, but it's still a fine software because the basic things that you might want to do, you do get to do. Edit profiles, adjust sensitivities, and that's fine. As for what's on the actual controller, it does have mic and volume adjusting capabilities, so you can straight up mute the mic or adjust mic sensitivity, which is nice. You also have the ability to adjust headset volume and voice chat / game volume, so you can see which one you want to hear more of, whether it's your party or the game. And you have a profile button which will allow you to choose between 4 different profiles that after using the software you'll be able to use across varying games. There's also a feature where you can swap the left and the right analog stick functions, where the left analog stick will do what the right would do and then the right would do what the left would do, which is kind of cool, I guess, for people who maybe are more left-handed or whatever the case or reason might be. Not particularly sure what that would help with. If you guys could let me know in the comments below, that would be great. But it seemed like a useless feature to me, which is why I never really used it. But just to demonstrate, here we are in Apex Legends. Like normal, you would use the left analog stick to move around and the right to aim. That's just how normal games work. But if you come into the Hori Device Manager and you decide to select reverse analog sticks, when you get back into Apex Legends or any game that you want to play, the left will be to look around and the right will be to move. Don't really know the purpose of this. It is a little weird, and I can't see the benefits of switching the analog sticks, but again, let me know in the comments below. When I started to test the controller, there were a lot of things that I started to notice immediately. First off, the shape of the controller is more of a retro design, so that's kind of cool. It takes you all the way back to 1995, but the analog sticks are so tight, it's like, it's kind of hard to move them a little bit. The D-pad and the buttons aren't bad. They take a little bit more force to press, but they're not bad at all. I actually do kind of like them. And the bumpers and triggers are like a membrane mush, Overall, the controller didn't really do what I would have liked it to do, especially with the games that I was playing, which was Apex Legends. When I was trying it with shooters, I was having a terrible time. So I was like, what is the point of this? I did a little bit more research on the Horipad, and then I realized, oh, it's for fighting games. And when I found that out, the whole review changed. I'm not much of a fighting game gamer. I haven't been in a long time, so this is actually a really good time for me to go back to my roots. And playing with this pad was definitely way more enjoyable than normal. It made me really think back on some of the other controllers that I might have reviewed, where maybe those controllers would have been better for fighting games rather than the shooters that I was measuring them by. Because once I did for fighting games like Fighter Z, I had much more fun. It was much more of a blast. But then you start to wonder, is this controller necessarily better for fighting games than a regular Xbox controller that you would have already gotten with your Xbox One or Xbox Series XS console? Probably not. No reason to really go out and buy this. I mean, baseline, they both will do the same job. You'll probably enjoy the Xbox stock controller more. The Xbox stock controller is wireless and only costs about $10 more, which doesn't even really matter because you already bought it with the console. But the controller is fast though, coming in at 4 milliseconds response time. That does make it twice as fast as a normal Xbox controller, but I wasn't able to overclock it, so there you go. So overall, this was not a bad controller. Definitely more fun with fighting games. Definitely makes more sense. And maybe there are slight benefits to getting this controller for competitive fighting games, but not enough for me to really sit down and recommend it. Although it is a little cheaper, so have at it if you'd like. So overall, reviewing this controller was definitely a learning lesson, and I'm happy that I did it. And that is the review. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Have a great day. Peace.